Another major reversal for the Ford government. It will repeal its controversial wage restraint legislation after years of backlash. The premier today admitting that his government has already paid billions of dollars to compensate workers affected by Bill 124, but the province's financial watchdog says the cost could be even higher than expected.
Well, we just believe it should be government's decision, not the courts.
Despite that, Premier Doug Ford says he will respect the decision. Ontario's Court of Appeals deeming the legislation unconstitutional on Monday. It capped wages for public sector workers at 1% for 3 years, sparking outrage among labor groups and opposition parties. While the case was being heard in court, some workers were already being awarded retroactive pay.
We've already signed agreements with the nurses and a lot of the teachers' unions. We've already spent billions of dollars.
But the government is bracing to spend billions more. In a new report, the Financial Accountability Office of Ontario says it now assumes that all union and non-union public sector employees that were subjected to Bill 124 will receive wage increases to adjust for the impact of the legislation. And they estimate the cost to the province to provide wage increases will total $13.7 billion over 5 years. That's up significantly from the last estimate, which was $8.4 billion. The premier today didn't seem concerned about the financial implications.
Times are different now. Because of the great work of our team and the great work of the finance minister, we're a lot more financially stable. We're prudent fiscal managers.
The law was enacted in 2019 as a money-saving measure when Ontario was in what the premier describes as a financial mess. The finance minister projecting Ontario will have a $4.5 billion deficit by the end of the fiscal year. That's $1.1 billion lower than what was projected. The government will repeal the law when MPPs return to the legislature next week for the first session of 2024. For City News, I'm Tina Yazdani.